For me, it is dedication. In signing up for senior man, I have put myself forward for a role of massive responsibility, and I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't completely prepared to do the graft. The responsibility is, as I say, massive. There's the responsibility for me to work for and represent every single one of you and make sure that the best years of your life are as perfect as they possibly can be. Undoubtedly, the next year will throw up challenges and difficulties, and there's only so much that I can promise here. But one thing I can absolutely guarantee is that I will work tirelessly, with enthusiasm, with maximum effort to make sure that Castle remains and improves upon being the fantastic place it is for us all to live. I will dedicate all my time to work behind the scenes in any issue, big or small, with anything going on in college at all, I'd be perfectly willing to muck in with. But also around the college, being a presence, a friendly, approachable face, to get to know as many of you as possible, and the new freshers get to know all of them if I possibly can. Those of you who have had things to do with me around college, be it on the welfare team or as duck rep, organising Tough Guy, or in the boat club, will know, I hope, that I always do everything I can with all my effort. If I'm successful in these elections, I will put all of that effort towards representing the JCR, both inside these walls and outside of them, for the next year and a half, starting tomorrow.
Okay. Hello everybody, I'm Jenny, for those of you who haven't managed to see when I've been out and about in the last week. My answer to this question is, I think, the most important attribute a senior man can have, and it's a word for those of you who have been canvassed by me, I think I've overused, but it is still very important, is really good communication skills. A senior man could do the best job in the world at representing you, but if it's not communicated back, then it doesn't feel like I'm living up to that task that's been placed on on the senior man's shoulders, so to speak. That kind of works both representing and communicating within the JCR, and I do think we need to improve how we do this, because it's not the most effective it could be. And secondly, kind of building mutual relationships and mutual respect from representing the college to external parties like college office, like the university as a whole. I think that's really crucial that we do that and maintain productive relationships with people to get the best for our college and for Castle itself. The biggest personal contribution I think I would make as senior man for next year would be guiding the discussions in college and how we go about maintaining our identity when a lot of third years and a lot of third years and finalists are no longer able to live in. I think it's going to be a big issue over the next year, and it would fall on the next senior man to facilitate getting a system that people are happy with and make sure we maintain ourselves as a college, which you are part of for your entire undergraduate degree, rather than just your freshers year or when you're living in. I think that's where my personal contribution would lie.
Thank you. I'm Josh. I'll keep it quite brief. I think the most important attribute is to be able to empathise with people. Clearly, I'm no rugby lad. You're not going to find me playing football. But that isn't to say that I am not going to be able to engage with and relate to every member of the JCR. With Nightline training, it teaches you to really be able to understand where people are coming from, not to assume things about people. And if people don't feel they can come to you without judgment and are not comfortable in doing that, you can't do your job properly. I will empathise. I will be here for you guys and represent you guys on whichever level is necessary, from the highest level at the university down to college office, down to your tutors, down to if you're struggling with your work, come and tell me. I'll see if I can give you a cup of tea and make it better. As far as what I will bring to the role, let me split this in two parts. For me personally, I bring a huge passion for us, for the JCR, for the castle, where we live, where we engage with each other, this social space, the Undie, all of this around us. It's brilliant. I bring a passion for it, for you, and for making things even better than they are at the moment. In terms of what I will bring tangibly to the role, a structure, and everyone who I've canvassed has heard me say this, a structure whereby it's not just a case of me saying, if you need to email me, you can email me and I'll be here. It's a case of me saying, I want to know what's bothering you, and I want to come out and solve your problems. My idea for this, initially, is a system almost like the course reps, where first years, second years, whatever demographics sit on this panel, anyone who is interested and who can meet with me every few weeks, and who can firstly provide another point of contact for everyone in the JCR, if they don't feel comfortable speaking to me personally, and who I can use to really find out what first year's problems are, what second year's problems are, what third year's problems are. Not just my own, not just the exec, everyone in college in the JCR.
Thanks, Josh. Hi guys, my name's Ben. Some of you may know me, and hopefully I got to canvass as many of you as possible. To those who didn't, I'm sorry, and hopefully I'll be able to go over a lot of my points here in more detail. In response to the first half of the question, I think that the most important quality for a senior man can probably be summed up in the word personable. You've got to be easy to get on with. Firstly, people need to feel like they can approach you, that they could come to you with anything, and you're going to be working with all the other members of the exec. You need to be able to get on with them, otherwise they're not going to do things when you ask them to. You're not going to have a good relationship with them. They're just going to ignore you. If you aren't able to get on with the people in college office, then trying to get them to help you when you're trying to implement your manifesto points is going to be like pushing against a brick wall. You're not really going to get anywhere. And finally, you need to get on with the other presidents of Prescom. If you don't have a good relationship with them, then they're just going to leave you out of the loop on issues of a university-wide level. When it comes to the second part of the question, I think that the most important contribution I would make would be my time and my effort. So it's similar to Charlie's point. I'd be extremely dedicated in the role, and I'll put a lot of my time into it. Those of you I've spoken to about my manifesto points know that I've got a few things that I want to introduce. You are quite limited to 100 words on your manifesto, so I tried to include the points that I thought would be most relevant to you as members of the JCR. Obviously, it's quite an inward-facing manifesto. It's all to do with things like getting on the case of sorting out the back room of the JCR and fixing the TV and keeping the post offer open days and the room ballots, doing that 5 weeks earlier, holding an extraordinary meeting of the JCR to look into the fairness of room allocations. They're all things that directly impact upon you. However, I'm not limiting myself. I'm going to be dedicating a lot to this role, and any other ideas that have come up, potentially more university-wide ones, I'm definitely going to implement as senior man. So thanks very much, and I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next question.